come on, that inner child's got to come out when you see stuff like this. Waking up to snow has got to be the best feeling in the world. It is cold, that's a fact, and you probably will get cold feet and cold hands, but seeing everything look like this is just, it's so good. See, that's the one thing that's been missing from Australia, snow. And even my friend Matt, if you're watching, you know, even in Broome, it's just, yeah. And to top it all off, as I was walking up here, it gets so good that down in the field below, there were 3 deer, or maybe there were 4, chasing each other. And I nearly dropped my lens, which was like really not good because I'd taken the back of it off. But I managed to get my long lens on, and I just sat there and watched them. But I missed the bit where they were chasing each other. I think they became aware of me, but it looked spectacular. So anyway, I got my long lens on, I pointed my camera down. They're still down there at the minute, but they're all a bit like, because they know I'm here. But what a start to the day. I mean, what a start to the day. I mean, I've been feeling pretty rough recently, and I didn't venture out much in the last couple of days, but wow. Like, it looks so good. I'm so happy to be out right now. Now, I know I don't always plan to go to a specific location, like I said in one of my earlier videos, but I do have an idea of going up to the Bridestones today and trying to get a panorama shot. Now, the snow's not going to last much longer because it's due to get a little bit warmer this afternoon, so I've got to make the most of the opportunity whilst it's here, because apparently it's going to get up to like 10 degrees, so the snow is going, but it will come back. It is the beginning of winter. I mean, I think we're on the 29th today of November. You've got to make the most of the opportunities because you just don't know of it. I mean, we might not get any more snow. This might be it for the year. It's highly unlikely, but magic. Just look how majestic it looks right now, and now the sun is finally breaking through. We're getting this really nice golden light that's just spreading across and highlighting little bits. I'll just show you right now Auckland rocks. I mean, just look how fantastic that looks right now. The sun is just breaking through the clouds, and you can just see it highlighting the tips of where all the top of the snow is. Right now it's such a contrasty image because obviously you've got white with the snow, and you've got the rocks of Auckland rocks being quite dark and black, and it's obviously because you've got the white and the black, it just makes a great black and white picture for starters. But obviously we've got a nice contrasty blue sky as well, so the clouds are actually shifting, but it looks great. It looks so good, and I'm so excited. So I think me rambling on at the camera has spooked the deer a little bit. They are moving off. Such a nice sight to behold and watch, and just allow them to be themselves and just admire the beauty of nature. And I think it's such a privilege to be able to come up here and watch deer and watch the birds and watch any animal really being at peace and at one with itself. So it's been a great morning so far, and I'm looking forward to the rest of this little trip. Now behind me is my favourite tree in Todmorden. I used to walk my dog, like I said, up here all the time, and I used to sit here with him, and we used to sit and look out down the valley, cross into Todmorden, and the views here are spectacular. Like I said, it's a really peaceful little spot, and the tree itself, which is just on the edge of Death Drops Pass, which is the thing that I named, it's spectacular. And I've been trying to photograph this since I came home, and I can't ever seem to do it justice. So I'm going to try now with my wide angle lens, and I might stick the 24 to 70 on to see if I can get a decent picture. But now we've got this contrasty blue sky with the orange coming through. It does actually look really beautiful at the moment. So I'm going to try and capture this and do it justice. But like I said, so far I haven't managed to do that. But I got time. I'm going to do it now, and hopefully I will get a decent image. So I slightly underexposed the image so I could bring the detail out in the sky and bring out the orange glow from the sun cutting through the clouds. I'm still not 100% happy with this, and I don't think I'm ever going to be able to do this scene justice, but it's not too bad. I also grabbed a shot of Auckland rocks with it covered in snow because the opportunity was there. I sometimes remind myself just how lucky we are to live in such a stunning valley. I think we get so caught up in day-to-day activities that we take for granted what is in our backyard. Walking up here in just 30-40 minutes and seeing these views is absolutely stunning, and it makes it all the worthwhile. So, I'm nearly at the Bridestones now. I've trundled up the hill, slipped over twice. I have survived. I'm nearly there, and I'm surprisingly warm. I wrapped up quite well today, and I have my waterproof trousers on. Yes! So, I'm feeling pretty good. The weather still looks spectacular, so I'm super stoked at just how much the snow is still here. I was expecting when I saw the sun hitting Auckland rocks earlier, that the sun was going to break through the clouds and just start to melt everything straight away, but it's still here, so fingers crossed it'll stay for a little bit longer. I know most people hate the snow. Well, people that are adults, that have grown up and are, I don't know, miserable. They're like, I can't go to work today because the snow's here. Well, buy a bloody sledge. Go sledging. Connect to your inner child. Oh no. There is a gate. You shall not pass. I don't know if you can see just how deep the snow is, but it's this deep. Which is not super deep, but deeper than your average not so deep snow. But anyway, I'm almost at the end of this momentous quest to get to the Bridestones. I don't know if you can see behind me, but there's a break in the clouds and the sunlight is just breaking through and hitting the top of the hills over there. Spectacular, absolutely spectacular. So these are the moments where you need a long lens, like I was saying in my previous video. When you have a long lens, you're able to just zoom in and capture these little moments. Sadly, I don't have time to just quickly swap lenses because it's quite windy up here, and because I'm using a mirrorless camera, great design, they didn't actually put a cover across the sensor. So I've got to be super careful when taking my lenses off because I don't want to get snow on the sensor because that could ruin the camera. So right now this opportunity has been missed, but the light looks spectacular. I thought I'd just show you. I don't know if you can see it all the way across there, just on the far side, just above Todd Park. You can just see the clouds here and the light just penetrating and hitting the top of the park section there on the wood, on the hillside. Spectacular stuff. See, this is what being a landscape photographer is all about. Little moments like that get you really excited. Well, I finally made it to the Bridestones. Just as I got here, some spectacular light hit Studley Pike. I had to quickly change my lens and I wasn't able to focus on it properly, so it's slightly out of focus. It's not the greatest picture, but it still looks all right. I'm super happy with it. I've been waiting with the other lens on to see whether or not I can get the picture that I'm after, but it seems that that little moment's passed me by because the fog is drifting past Studley Pike, but when the light hits it, it illuminates all the foreground and it illuminates the spike. So yeah, and I'll flash the image up now of what I managed to capture. Ba-ding! It's not too bad, but yeah, I was just too late. Well, it seems the wind's picking up and it's actually getting quite cold, obviously because we're up on the tops. Yeah, those warm clothes, not quite keeping me warm now. So my plan is to try and take a panorama shot of the Bridestones, and then I'll stitch the images together. So I'm going to move down over here where it's a wider view of the whole Bridestones, and I will take multiple images and then hopefully I will get them all lined up in a Lightroom and Photoshop, stitch them all together to create a Bridestone panorama. But yeah, the weather is dropping, it is colder, and I think it's time to take some pictures. Well, it hasn't quite worked out the way I had it in my head, and I should have remembered at the beginning of the year. I actually trundled all the way up here into the snow with my tripod, and I tried to photograph the exact same thing by doing a panorama, and I should have remembered the same situation. Now, the way those Bridestones with the golf ball are angled, when you come down at the bottom, it means they're angled like this. So in my head, I wanted to get like a straight shot, but you can't get a straight shot unless you tilt your camera that way, but then you won't get the panorama right. And a lot of nonsense, but basically it's not quite worked out the way I would have liked to. So, but that's the way things sometimes turn out. You can't always get what you want. So has it been an entire waste of a trip? No. Has it? Heck, I've been out. Look at this place. Snow everywhere. That's fantastic. And I got that image of Studley Pike, which, you know, I had to be here at that very moment in time to capture it. It's not the clearest picture, but there's a big but. It's still an image that I'm happy with, and it's still a moment that I was able to capture. And like I said, get your inner child out, come and play out in the snow. Stop being a miserable old person and complaining that I can't get to work because it's snowing. Come and play out. Bring your camera out, take some pictures, just get out and about. Now, I said I wasn't happy with the image when I was up there trying to take the panorama shot, but when I got back, I realized that it was my favorite image of the day. The idea in my head was to try and create something minimalistic. When I got the image back into Lightroom, the minimalistic approach of the sky and the foreground of the snow matching each other and just having the rocks darted across the horizon line created a really beautiful minimalistic picture. It definitely was the perfect way to wrap up the day.